This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
A lot of firms out there say they will do tax planning, say they will do Social Security planning and RMD planning, and typically they just do investment management. They want your money.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
Where do you stand today with your retirement accounts, with your insurance, with Social Security, RMDs, taxes, all of it? This is how we need to think. We need to think outside of the box on these matters.
Abe is here to help you unlock the keys to your retirement.
Abe, how are you today?
Doing good, Heather, but we just recently started a kitchen renovation, and I don't know how to feel.
What
Excited?
time do the contractors show up in the morning is the first question.
Yeah, they show up early. They don't mess around, and so I don't know whether to be excited or whether to just bury myself in the deepest hole I can find. But it seems like every person we tell that, we're what's up with you guys? What's new? Oh, we're just having a kitchen renovation done. And they look at us like, ooh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. And anybody listening right now that's going through home renovations or has in the past, and you know what we're dealing with. So I request your prayers for Shelley and I that the house remains intact.
As does your relationship. Did I
exactly.
ever tell you about when Kyle and I were getting married? We actually, the year we were engaged, we bought a fixer-upper house. So the year we planned a wedding and renovated a house all in 1 year.
And you're still married. That's a success story right there.
No, people said to us, they're like, you still got married at the end of all it? Yes. They said, they were looked at wide-eyed. They said, you will be married forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We know.
Forget the 7-year itch. You just tackled it in the first year.
If you ever want to know what a good marriage counseling is, it's doing some sort of renovation. Forget the fancy, expensive counselors. Renovate something. That's what will give you assurance as to the longevity of your relationship. I'm happy to say we are several years into our marriage, and we're still doing well. So
excellent.
I have faith that you will come out on the other side of this, Abe Abish.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it being done already.
Again, everybody that's ever gone through a renovation is nodding along going, you're going to be okay. But yes, It will be worth it in the end. And then you'll have your beautiful new kitchen, and you guys can have, culinary delights every night. You're going to be wanting to go home and cook and not want to go out. It's all about the end game.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And, it's not lost on me, this conversation. It's all about the end game. Isn't that what you focus on every single day at your office there at Abish Financial Services? It's all about helping folks figure out that end game, the plan for it, and doing the legwork now to create that plan, particularly when you're married. Make sure you're bringing your spouse along with you. We were just talking about spousal projects. This is a great one to make sure you're on the same page, getting that financial plan together for the years ahead. And I feel like we're just, poking all kinds of bears with the subject matter we're getting into today, because I was getting ready to bring up the idea of doctor and dentist appointments, and every wife listening right now is elbowing her husband in the side. I can't tell you how many times I have to make Kyle get to the dentist. But we are all supposed to be doing it on a regular basis. It's all part about preservation of our teeth, right? But here's the thing about dentists in particular. You might not know that they can also spot a lot of other health problems just by examining your mouth and your oral health. They can detect things like anemia, oral cancer, osteoporosis, diabetes, even signs of having too much stress in your life. And again, it correlates to what you do, Abe, because no, you're not a dentist, but you can look at financial situations, go through these documents with your clients, and you've actually been able to uncover things of this nature, things they didn't even realize you would be able to help your clients find, right?
Absolutely. 2 issues I can think of right now, Heather. So we had 2 different gentlemen come in at 2 different times. And the first guy was 70 and a half years old. This is when RMDs were at 70 and a half, not 72. So He was 70 and a half. He was still working for a huge defense contractor in the DC metro area. Still working, 70 and a half years old, had almost all of his money in that company's 401k. But he thought, because he was 70 and a half and still working, that he had no RMD total, at all, but he did have that 401k and an IRA at a major financial institution, and just thought because he was 70 and a half and older, he had 0 RMDs due. And that's not true. yes, he was right. He had no RMD due on his current 401k plan since he was a active employee, but he did have an RMD due on his IRA that was elsewhere.
Got it.
He had about $250,000 in that IRA, and your first RMDs start off at a little less than 4%. So let's just round it up. 4% of 250 grand is $10,000 that he was supposed to take out. Had he not come in for a complimentary comparison and where do I stand plan on his whole retirement plan, he would have incurred a $5,000 penalty, a 50% penalty on any amount you don't take out, whether it's just because you don't know the rules, whether it's because you forget, whether it's because you miscalculate, whether it's because you're on a cruise in December and you know, in the tropics in someplace warm when we're getting snow and ice. Nevertheless, the IRS doesn't care. If you forget, if you mess it up, if you don't know the rules of the game, there's a 50% penalty on any RMD you're supposed to take out. Well, he didn't know that, but when he came in, he found out. Bottom line, we saved him $5,000. Look, is $5,000 a lot of money? No, but that can pay for a vacation. $5,000 is $5,000,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And it's $5,000 of savings that we saved him simply by coming in. Another gentleman came to one of our tax workshops. And we're not CPAs or accountants. We don't do people's tax returns, but we do seek to find ways to help people lower and mitigate their tax burden on their retirement dollars. So,
it.
for example, this gentleman was a 35-year bond trader on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wow.
Saved millions of dollars, but most of those millions were in IRAs and 401ks, all pre-taxed accounts. And he, like a lot of our clients, are concerned about the state of the country financially, $30 trillion in national debt, and with rates going up and things like that, he was just concerned that he could be paying more taxes on those retirement accounts than today, right down the road. So he was actively doing some tax planning. And yes, he's very smart investment-wise. I mean, he was on the New York Stock Exchange for 35 years.
Right.
But he really didn't know the tax side of the business and started doing these Roth conversions on his own and bumped himself up into two higher brackets, not one, two higher brackets. And so he came to our workshop, then ultimately came into the office and became a client and said, "Hey, I got to tell you, I think I know a lot on the investment side," and he does.
Sure.
But I need help with this tax planning. This is an area of a financial plan that I do not know in and out. I kind of screwed things up on my own, and I need your help. And so both of these guys, you know, have done a great job of saving and accumulating, but it's darn near impossible, Heather, to know all the rules to the game, and the rules constantly change. If you're willing to put your ego aside and just say, I don't know everything about retirement planning. I don't know everything about insurance and investments and annuities and real estate and income and risk and long-term care and all of these things that we should be considering in a comprehensive retirement plan. If you're able to check some or all that ego at the door and just gain professional advice from a fiduciary, retirement advisor, that can go so far for you. That can really help you, because most people we meet with, Heather, have saved enough, but our clients are looking for all the ways to protect, to insulate, to preserve their life savings. And so I feel that's what our strength is as a company is, hey, you've done a fantastic job of accumulating. Now let's help you to protect your life savings from all the risks that can mess this up. So for anyone listening right now, if you sound like maybe one or both of these gentlemen and, you've maybe made some mistakes, getting here to retirement, you don't want to make any more mistakes. You're willing to work with somebody, or you already are working with somebody, but you want a complimentary comparison, a complimentary second opinion on what you've done for your retirement. Go to retirementkeyradio.com, click on the Contact Us link at the top of the page, and we'll help you address any concerns that you have right now as well.
All right. Well, we're in this space of things that we didn't even know that we needed to know, whether or not we knew we needed them. Confusion, the statement I just made is case in point, because now more than ever, we have more opportunity to gain information, and that can actually work against us, Abe. There are a bevy, just an uncountable amount of free online calculators that are supposed to give you a snapshot of your retirement savings and tell you whether your plan is on track or not. But the Motley Fool, they did a little test. They took 10 of these online calculators for a test drive, and the results varied so drastically. One said that they have a $5 million savings shortfall, while another said they'd have a $19 million left over in their 90s. What is up with these calculators, Abe? What's the problem here? Are they just not including all of the pertinent information? What's your experience with this area?
Yeah, these calculators, for retirement planning, Heather, can be all over the place. And, oftentimes they're called Monte Carlo simulations that you can run, all these hypotheticals. So what if this, what if that? And they give you these predicted outcomes like, okay, if this happens, then you're 95% likely or 60% likely to outlive your money or to not outlive your money if the plan goes this way. But these calculators miss a lot of key points sometimes. Here are some of these key points that these calculators miss. Sometimes these online tools don't ask how your retirement plan is being invested. Rather, they'll use their own assumptions about asset allocation. Sometimes it's a very aggressive assumption. Sometimes it's a very conservative assumption on your 401k or IRA. And that really could render those formulas and calculations useless. Okay. So bottom line is you want to have the math tested by a professional who does this every day. Just don't do this on your own. If you're doing it on your own, that's one thing to have an idea of where you might stand and where things might go. Then have it double checked. Have the math tested by a financial professional, ideally a fiduciary, who has to legally have your best interest first and who is going to give you unbiased information to help you make great decisions about your finances. So we just recently had a lady call in, and she's done a fantastic job of saving. She's in Maryland. She saved approaching $5 million just in her net worth and in her investments and real estate and so forth. So the amount she saved isn't the problem, Heather. But then as we started digging in to her investments and how she's allocated, most of it was in stocks. And also we found out that her fees are about twice as expensive. The cost of the funds are about twice as expensive as what is typical and normal in our portfolio. Really? So we pointed that out. Yeah. And really that fee savings, that potential fee savings, Heather, was about $4,000 a year. Now take $4,000 times 30 to 40 years. If she lived that long, that's $120,000, $150,000, $200,000 in fund expense reduction and savings alone. And those fees are like termites. All of these things add up. You want to factor them into a comprehensive plan and find ways to keep the most amount of money in your pockets as we can.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit retirementkeyradio.com and join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish, NPM number 770-3575.